If, like me, you're looking at This Land Is My Land and thinking, cool, this looks like Red Dead Redemption, but from a native Indian's perspective, then you would be right. It is. Except that it lacks the compelling storyline, the immersive audio, and the realistic gameplay. Sadly, having just left early access, the warning bells are going off everywhere, and that was within 2 hours of starting to play this game. The lack of quality in this title becomes apparent right at the very start. In this opening scene, you are one of a handful of captured native Indians being transported by train to somewhere or other. You get to pick your name, your spiritual animal, and a starting location, at which point you are presumably rescued. But none of that is really conveyed in any cohesive way whatsoever. No cutscenes, no interactions or voiceovers, just a single view and some background audio. In fact, one of the missing elements that stands out most, other than the lack of immersive audio, is any voiceover at all. There simply is none. Even as you appear in the camp of your saviours, the frustrations continue to keep coming. Immediately your character is overloaded because he's carrying 5 plants and 15 sticks, so of course he now walks like he has had himself a little bout of the trots. So the graphics are not Rockstar quality, and if you haven't sold your soul to the devil, then there's no real way that they can deliver that level of smoothness. So okay, it actually looks pretty decent. I quite like the look of the game. The foliage is deep and plentiful, as are the hills, the trees and the boulders. Honestly, it has a look that I could get behind and really enjoy. But then there's the horse riding, which is woeful. There are just 2 speeds, painstakingly slow, or completely out of control fast. I mean, who doesn't know that horses come in more than 2 speeds? Where are my trots? Again though, this is a learning curve opportunity. Give the game some time and adjust to the way the horses behave. At least the horse can carry vast amounts of literally anything. Large spike trap? Yeah, sure, no problem. Just chuck it on the horse. Not an issue. So, let's try approaching an enemy base at night so that we've got better cover and we can move without being seen. So I grab the first guy from behind. He shouts out,
Hey, I can tell you where it is. I'll tell you where it is.
Something about something or other in a way that is completely out of sync with the written conversation that I'm actually reading. The situation at hand, and audibly, it could have been recorded anywhere other than in that particular forest, which further destroys the sense of immersion and realism. I throw a stone to distract the next guy. But I have to throw it really close.
I'm checking it out.
However, it does work, and I take him down silently too.
Okay. Stop. Don't kill me. Stop. I can be useful. I'll help you. I'll tell you where this stuff is. No.
The next target requires a wolf whistle because the stone just didn't work. I have to target a person to make it work, but as I'm hid behind the bush, I can't actually see very well. The audio sounds of footsteps are so bad, it sounds like they're actually dancing a jig all around me. So I move closer to see why the guy who I was trying to distract still hasn't moved a single millimetre. And then I realise, a little too late, that I had actually caught the attention of a third man behind a building completely by accident. I stay still in hope, but he sees me. Now we're in a gun-slinging match.
You see anything? Everyone get ready! There, I need to reload!
and I must now single-handedly kill 99% of the men in this camp alone, whilst bleeding to death from every single appendage of my body, every single part. But wait, I suddenly see a fellow brave locked inside a cage, and when I look closer, I see there are lots of them, all locked up, and I can free them and recruit them to join in my fight. I pause to have a bite to eat and gather some Dutch courage whilst I watch the remaining AI enemy characters walk out of the hut that they were sleeping in, away from where the gunshots are coming from, and stand very still whilst I release my crew and order them to attack. Of course, they all stop within 10 feet of the man, allowing him enough time to turn,
The enemy is here, everyone!
shout out, and recoil in horror as the reality of what's happening sets in. So I shoot him in the face, and his mate, he gets shot as well. And I would have shot the next guy too, but I actually missed my shot and he kicked me to the ground.
The enemy is here!
By far the most impressive thing that I have seen in this game. And I die. I respawn back at camp with my weapons, but with no horse or any of my equipment that I had gathered. It's an interesting start to a game, but it's certainly not a good one. Everything about this game kind of screams out that they were going for something much bigger, much grander, far more exciting and detailed and advanced. And yet, their skills and level of detail just fell short. And I think they ran out of time and money, and they've released it in this state because they don't know what else to do. I think from this point, to get it to become something really polished like Red Dead Redemption, or even close to Red Dead Redemption, would take so much time and money that this is probably beyond help. And that's a real shame, because I like the idea, as many of you out there will have probably felt the same. It's certainly something that deserves a bit of attention. Well, let me put it this way. I've put nearly 7 hours into this game already, and I've barely got anywhere because of bugs, issues, just confusion and lack of capability on the part of the game. It's like I haven't mastered how to play this game, but at no point does it do anything to really encourage me to want to. Everything is an uphill challenge in this game. Nothing really sort of makes sense. The character animations don't match what they're actually doing. So they appear to be making food, but actually there's no food being made, these kind of things. It's just so many issues in this game. I mean, I kept telling myself for 6.5 hours, well, if I just keep pushing through, I'll get past this sort of initial teething problem and get to the real meat of the game and really enjoy it. And there's a chance that that is true. There is a chance that if I just keep playing and keep playing and keep playing, that eventually I'll get used to the way the game works, and the game will open up and become far more exciting and interesting. But I'm 7 hours in and I haven't progressed at all, and I don't feel like I want to play the game anymore because it just frustrates me so much. There are good parts to the game. There are elements where I think the devs clearly had a goal here, and a passion, and that passion is just burnt out, and you can see it everywhere. You know, when it comes down to the final details, the final bit of polish, nobody had any energy left to do that. And that's just how everything looks. Everything feels like they came close, but just didn't have enough time, energy, resources to push it over the final step. And it's a shame. I think it's a game that could have been absolutely fantastic. Maybe they just tried to be too big. Maybe they tried to go too far. I don't know. But let's call this a first look review, because I'm 7 hours in and I still feel like I have barely touched this game. And it's not because it's expansive or so incredibly amazing that there's just so much to absorb. It's that within 7 hours I have just failed to make any progress of any considerable sort in any way, shape or form. And it's lost my interest as a game, which is a shame, because this is one I desperately wanted to enjoy and get involved with, but no, I'm sorry. On a first look basis, I just haven't been able to get into this one at all. And I tried. I really tried. Not a game for me, but I don't know, maybe go watch some other reviews, watch people who have really put time and effort into it. Maybe someone who's got over 100 hours of gameplay. Maybe they've got something more interesting to show you, but I can't see. I mean, Red Dead Redemption, within 10 seconds I was immersed in that. That I couldn't want to have played that game any more than I did within 10 seconds of starting that game. And I've been playing this one for nearly 7 hours and I don't want to play it at all. And that's the difference. That's the comparison. That's the first look review. That's the truth of it. And I want to be more positive and have more positive things to say. But that's it. That's all I've got. Sorry guys, I hope this is a helpful review for you. I can't imagine this is going to entice you to buy this game whatsoever, but I do, once again, encourage you to go and watch someone who's got over 100 hours of gameplay and see what is on offer when you really get to the deep down to the meat on this one, because maybe there's a game here that is incredible and it's just that the start is awful. I honestly don't know, and I honestly don't have any more time to give to this game right now. Maybe I'll come back to it later, but as soon as it's in full release, my fear is this one's going to die a death. Nobody's really going to push for this. I think, I don't know. It's I was expecting much more. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.